The amazing drama you're about to see is a matter of human record. You may believe it or not. But the real people who lived this story, they believe it. They know. They took that one step beyond.
Alcoa presents a new and unusual kind of television program.
Almost a year before Twilight Zone, there was One Step Beyond. Similar in tone, John Newland was host to set up the stories. He was also the director, plus an actor. Quite a full plate. The series was quite good, well written by authors who'd become recognized, good actors who'd become famous on their own later on, and Newland and Serling were friends, with no rivalry about the shows. One Step Beyond catered to the paranormal view, while Twilight Zone, as we all know, explored everything. The show was popular, never canceled, but Newland called it quits, quite simply because he was running out of good material. How's that for a class act? The original series ran from 1959 through 61. Years later, there was a revival, but Newland himself said it wasn't good. The show had many amazing stories, one in particular about the Titanic. Well, kind of.
The amazing drama you're about to see is a matter of human record. You may believe it or not. But the real people who lived this story, they believe it. They know. They took that one step beyond. In this library was an unread book. Coming events cast their shadows before them. Maybe. Remember this book. We'll come back to it later. It might shock you.
All away!
Eric Farley never came back to this house. Over 1,500 people perished that dreadful night aboard the Titanic. Eric Farley was among them. You've seen some of the unexplained supernatural events surrounding the life and death of a great ship. Now, do you remember this book? It's a novel published in 1898, 14 years before the ill-fated vessel was even dreamed of. The title, Futility. Its author, Morgan Robertson. It's a story about the largest liner ever built, carrying on its maiden voyage the rich and great of the world. Then, on an April night, it struck an iceberg. The vessel in this book was 70,000 tons. The Titanic, 66,000 tons. The length of the ship in these pages, 800 feet. The Titanic, 882 feet. Both made 25 knots. Both carried about 3,000 passengers. Both liners had lifeboats for only a fraction of that number. And both were considered unsinkable. Oh, one more thing. The author called his ship the Titan.
One Step Beyond. When TV was new and John Newland was your first guide to imagination. This is Mike Stewart.